Today we're talking about something that affects nearly everyone: social media regulation. From TikTok to YouTube, Congress is considering new laws that could reshape how social platforms work in America. Let's break down what's happening, why it's happening, and what it could mean for users, companies, and the First Amendment. So, why is Congress suddenly focused on regulating social media? It's not just one issue. It's a combination of several growing concerns. First, there's election interference. Foreign governments and domestic bad actors have used platforms to spread misinformation, sometimes targeting swing states, hot-button issues, or even voter registration systems. Second, mental health, especially among teens. Apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok are designed to be addictive. Lawmakers are asking whether these platforms are making anxiety, depression, and attention disorders worse for young users. Third, data privacy. Social media companies collect huge amounts of personal data, often without users fully realizing it. This data can be used for targeted ads, sold to third parties, or in some cases, accessed by foreign governments. And finally, foreign ownership. The fact that TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, ByteDance, has sparked national security concerns that go far beyond politics. Let's talk about TikTok and the national security debate. TikTok is one of the most downloaded apps in America, but many lawmakers believe it poses a serious threat. The core issue: could the Chinese government force ByteDance to hand over user data, or use the algorithm to manipulate what Americans see? A bill has already passed that would force TikTok to sell its U.S. operations or face a nationwide ban. This has bipartisan support, with lawmakers from both parties calling it a matter of national security. TikTok says the concerns are overblown. They claim U.S. user data is stored on American servers and that content decisions are not made in China. Still, the pressure is mounting, and other countries, including Canada and the UK, are also watching closely. But TikTok is just one part of the picture. Congress is also looking at other social platforms and how they impact users, especially children and teens. One major proposal is called the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA. This bill would require social media platforms to design their apps with mental health in mind, reducing addictive features, limiting harmful content, and giving parents more tools to protect minors online. Another bill targets algorithms. The Algorithmic Justice and Online Platform Transparency Act would force companies like YouTube, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter, to publicly explain how their recommendation systems work, especially when it comes to political or harmful content. Then there's Section 230, the law that shields platforms from being sued for what users post. Some lawmakers want to reform or repeal it entirely, arguing that platforms should take more responsibility for hate speech, misinformation, and abuse. Others warn that changing it could have serious free speech consequences, potentially leading platforms to over-censor content to avoid lawsuits. So where does the debate stand now, and why does it matter? Tech companies have spent millions lobbying against these bills. Most major proposals have stalled or been revised behind the scenes. But public support for regulation is growing. Polls show that both Democrats and Republicans, especially parents, want stronger rules for how social media affects kids. And with elections approaching, lawmakers want to show they're taking action. They're trying to balance user protection, corporate accountability, and constitutional rights. That's a tough line to walk, especially when dealing with platforms that reach billions of people in real time. If these bills pass, they could change how you use the internet. From algorithm transparency to content labeling, to new rules on what platforms can collect and how they use it. Whether you're a casual user, a parent, or a business owner, these laws could affect the way you engage with digital platforms every day. And as other countries move forward with tech regulation, like the European Union's Digital Services Act, all eyes are on how the U.S. decides to act. Thanks for watching Politics Daily. If you want clear, straightforward updates on the biggest issues in politics, consider subscribing. We cover the facts, not the noise, every Monday through Friday. Stay informed. Stay independent. See you next time.